Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comic Book Burrito Extra Beef. My name's Darien.
My name's Landon.
And today, we have a special guest with us today. He was on for our review of Ninjak versus the Valiant universe. Welcome, Spillman.
Hey, how's everybody going?
Hey.
All right.
I was gonna say our Ninjak episode did pretty good, and so it's glad to have you back on here because I'm guessing people love you, Spillman.
Yeah.
So, oh well, I'm glad to be back on here. I was talking to Darien. He said it was one of your most listened to podcasts, I guess. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we couldn't think of no one better. So we got you.
Kevin Feige exists.
No, I don't know why do you worship that man? Because Spillman is like a million times better. I hate to break it to you, but
Spillman is the Kevin Feige of the Comic Book Burrito.
He is the Kevin Feige of Valiant. Let's go there. That's what he is.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I'm the Kevin Feige of Oak Grove High School.
Okay. I'll go with that.
That's more like Dalton, but
no. Overthrow.
They're both bald.
Start a mutiny next week, and I'll join you. Okay. We'll come in. I'm telling you. Do you not think it's a good idea? I think it is, but whatever.
Anyway, we're here, and we're going to review the first time ever, actually, I think, a comic book, or at least a few comic books. Cullen Bunn's Shadowman, issues 1 through 5, made by Valiant Comics. Spillman, you want to give a quick history on Shadowman for the people out there?
Sure, I can do that. I don't know how quick I can do it, but
well, that's fine. Take all your time.
No, hey, okay, we'll start
as possible. So please.
There was an idea.
I'll start at the beginning, I guess.
Yes, please.
So, when Valiant Comics was founded, Shadowman was one of their first characters. So you had Harbinger and Exo-Man of War and all that. And Shadowman was created by Jim Shooter, and it followed the adventures of Jack Boniface after he was bitten by a vampire, if I remember right. He gained powers that would only come out at night. So he became the Shadowman, and he would...
And he picked up the mask, didn't he, from the street from that Mardi Gras parade?
Oh, well, yeah. He got his mask from Mardi Gras parade. And he would fight crime in New Orleans. By day, he was, played the saxophone, kind of freelance artist. At night, he was the Shadowman. So the original... What?
Sorry. I'm imagining the saxophone and then like him. I
just imagine a guy playing a saxophone really awesomely, and then split second later beating the crap out of somebody in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
And the funny thing is that he actually had his first appearance in Exo-Man of War number 4.
Oh really?
And Auric, after landing on Earth, went to a concert. And there was Jack Boniface playing the saxophone.
But did he appear as Shadowman, or was it just Jack?
No, it was just Jack. He was in one panel just to kind of introduce the character. And really, it didn't even name him in that comic. He just happened to show up. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. But the original run was 43 issues and then a 0 issue. You had also Master Dark. His first appearance was Shadowman number 8. And he's kind of like the big baddie, one of the big baddies of the Valiant universe. He's magic based, he's interdimensional, and one of the most powerful characters.
Now, if you could compare him to maybe a character in either Marvel or DC, just to like maybe get the better understanding from people out there, who would you compare him to?
Really, I guess it would boil down to an evil Doctor Strange who dabbles in the dark arts and demonic arts and things like that. So he's always been Shadowman's ultimate, arch nemesis there. So, so that was volume 1. It went for 43 issues. It actually ended with Jack Boniface dying in issue 43. Spoiler alert. There you go.
Come on now.
And then, like right before, let's see, it was probably issue 38, is when Acclaim, the video game company, bought Valiant. So they tried to relaunch all the characters in Volume 1, and they called it Birthquake. And interesting name there, right?
Yeah.
And so the relaunch for Shadowman started in issue 38, and it only ran for 43 issues. So it was literally 5 issues was the relaunch. And then they Acclaim brought in Fabian Nicieza, who was an X-Men writer at Marvel, to completely rebrand all their properties. And Shadowman was their premier property. They had spun off, they bought Valiant to spin the characters off into video games. So they had made Turok at the time, but they wanted to make something that wasn't a first-person shooter. They wanted to kind of go into the adventure, genre. So they were working on something related to Bloodshot, and they were working on something related to Shadowman. Well, they went with Shadowman. They thought it was the better project. And they relaunched the series. It's called Volume 2 is called VH2, Valiant Heroes universe there. They brought in Garth Ennis, who created Preacher, to write the new series. And they brought in Ashley Wood, who's done a lot of some Spawn books here and there, some Sandman books. And they relaunched it. And they actually, the opening shot of the first page of the Acclaim series was Jack Boniface in the morgue after he was murdered. So they were, showing you, hey, look, this is going to be a new character here. This is a new run. This is a new creative team. So they brought in Michael Lavoie, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He was an assassin. He became the new Shadowman. Had the mask implanted in his chest and didn't wear it on his face. I always found that kind of weird.
Yeah, that's a little strange. And now this is the same one from the newly remastered video game.
Yeah, so they just remastered the first Shadowman game, and it was based on this version of the character. So that ran for 20 issues, the original run. And they actually brought in Jamie Delano as well, and he wrote for Vertigo after Garth Ennis had left. They brought Jamie Delano in to write the series, and he had written Constantine for Vertigo for a while.
That's cool.
And they brought in Charlie Adlard to do the art. He's famous for Walking Dead. He drew 170 some issues of Walking Dead. So you had a pretty strong creative team in that Volume 2 run of the series, and that butted up to the release of the game. So issue 20 was the final issue of that volume, which would be considered Volume 2. Mm-hmm. Then the game came out, and then all of a sudden, Acclaim started having a lot of problems. They started a Volume 3 of the series, and it only made 6 issues in before Acclaim went bankrupt and pretty much, didn't publish any comics anymore.
Excuse me, Spillman. I've been meaning to ask you about the game exactly.
Sure.
Would you think it still holds up to this day when it released?
Oh, does it still hold up today? Yeah. Okay. I've been playing it quite a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't beat it when I was younger. So it's kind of awesome playing it now, remastered, and getting seeing it through to the end. I'm kind of excited to see how it goes. So
okay, that's good. I was wondering if people wanted to try it out.
Yeah, they definitely should. It definitely holds up. The control scheme's been updated. Graphics have been updated. All the cut and censored content from the game has been added back. And they actually, the people that remastered it, partnered with the original developers to bring all that content back into the game.
Well, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
And now it's available on, I know it's available on PlayStation.
It's available on all platforms and PC. So even the Switch has a version of it. So
there you go.
That's great. Okay, so there's no excuse not to play it.
Yeah. So
I guess I'm gonna have to buy it.
Yeah. I didn't mean to buy it.
Yeah, I think it's $20. So
$20. Yeah, not too bad. But dude, please continue. I was wondering.
No, you're fine. So with Volume 3, which is where they published only the 6 issues, you had Michael Lois again, which issue 1 and 2 led up to the game, and I want to say issue 3 deals with the game in some ways, and then you had 4, 5, and 6 come after that. At this time, Shadowman was Valiant's #1 character. It was the best-selling title that they had. Quantum and Woody was second.
As it should.
Hold up now. I think, I'm not going to say that.
And the night, people give the Acclaim era a bad name, but we wouldn't have Quantum and Woody without the Acclaim era, and we wouldn't have the Dead Side without, the Acclaim era. So they introduced the Dead Side in the Acclaim era, which is basically, that didn't exist in Volume 1 of Shadowman. In Volume 2, they kind of played that up. Shadowman can travel between the world of the living and the world of the dead, where everybody goes when they die. However, Master Dark was not a part of the Shadowman storyline during the Acclaim era. He was more of a villain to Solar, which I guess we don't need to get into that at this point.
Yeah.
And then they went bankrupt. So then, we talked about that Dinesh buying the company or the rights to the characters last time.
Mm-hmm.
He relaunched Shadowman in 2012 with Justin Jordan writing it. And he went back to the VH1 Shadowman as inspiration, and then pulled some of the Acclaim era stuff like the Dead Side and all that, and kind of revamped him for modern audiences. So in this version, he's like Lord of the Dead Side. There's a lineage of Shadowmen. Jack Boniface is now Shadowman again. His father was a Shadowman. His other relatives were Shadowmen. And they get their power from a Loa, which is a Dead Side spirit that attaches themselves to the Shadowman. Mm-hmm. Which is his is the Shadow Loa. So that run of it ran for 16 issues. Then you had the End Times miniseries, which ran for 3 issues, and it showed Shadowman versus Master Dark. I mean, that was pretty much the big main idea or main story arc of that one. It establishes the new Shadowman, and it established Master Dark as this overarching kind of all-powerful villain in the Valiant universe who, crops up in all these different series from Exo to Eternal Warrior to, wherever, to Rai.
Yeah.
But at the end of that current run, Shadowman gets enslaved by Master Dark and becomes the Magpie, which is essentially Dark's slave, and he goes around terrorizing people in the Dead Side. Mm-hmm. They had another volume after that was written by Andy Diggle, who's done some stuff for DC. And it's about, him kind of breaking out of the Dead Side and coming back to this world and figuring out how to adapt to that. And then really since then, we had one crossover called Rapture, where you had Shadowman and Ninjak team up to, take on some hostile enemies in the Dead Side. And that pretty much carries us up to this current iteration of Shadowman, where you have Cullen Bunn writing.
Yeah. That was a pretty good synopsis of the history
again of
Shadowman.
We couldn't get no one better.
No, that's true.
Well, all right, thank you.
So yeah, we are, like I said at the beginning, reviewing Cullen Bunn's Shadowman series that's currently ongoing right now. We have issue number 6 of this coming out next week. Time of recording. So the day this is coming out, issue 6 will be out. So I didn't even mean to time it like that, but I did. So
awesome timing.
Yeah. But without further ado, I guess maybe we should get into some stuff about the first 4 issues before diving into the 5th issue.
Mm. Okay, so I mean, that sounds good to me.
All right. So this was obviously, I said, written by Cullen Bunn, who had written the stuff like Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. He wrote a comic called Deadpool Kills Deadpool. And just a lot of stuff.
Secret Wars.
Yeah, some Venom stuff, I do believe.
Yeah, Return of the Living Deadpool.
All the Deadpools he made.
all the Deadpool.
John Davis Hunt is your artist in this, and I really like his art.
Yeah, I'll say that I was not too familiar with him before this series. Mm-hmm. But after seeing his art, I think he takes kind of a realistic approach to Shadowman, and then he's redesigned him in some small ways. Like his nose is actually gone when he's Shadowman, so he's got like the skull indention.
Yeah, I kind of
like the dark, I guess, energy wisping off the top of his head. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting redesign. So it has been a little bit since I personally read those first 4. So I don't remember everything, but I know they're fresh in both of y'all's minds.
Yes.
So I guess maybe we start talking about maybe some big moments that happened in those comics.
Okay. Well, I mean, the whole premise is you have these things called blights, and they're kind of leaking into the live side, which is where we live. Yeah. And it's allowing the dead side to trickle in or seep into the live side. So we have demons and spirits able to travel freely between the two. And Shadowman's kind of trying to figure out, all right, what's going on? What's causing these blights?
And that's when Baron Samedi shows up, right?
Sure. Of course, yes. That's one villain I forgot to mention here. Baron Samedi he's kind of a freelance spirit in the dead side. He just works for whoever can benefit him the most. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of, he communicates that up front. He's like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing a favor for you. I'm just here to take care of myself. You just happen to be in a position where it could benefit you too, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I believe the first issue we have that we have these aristocrats having a party, and they're trying to travel to the dead side with a blood sacrifice. They finally get in, but when they come back out, they're infested with these like dead side insects that cause your bodies to explode. So pretty gruesome stuff there. And I commend John Davis Hunt because he's good at drawing the gore, I guess.
Yeah. So let's see. One thing that sticks out to me, and I think this is in the last, maybe the 5th. Well, let me see. I may be completely. This may be in the 5th one, not the 4th one. I meant. But there was a point where you find out that there's a Loa on the planet, right?
Oh, so yeah, that was the big twist. I think that's actually in issue number 3. I think that's how they end it.
Okay.
So they're investigating. There's this town that keeps shifting back and forth between the live side and the dead side as Baron Samedi and Shadowman are, standing in it. And the big reveal at the end of issue number 3 is that the dead side is not just another plane of existence. The dead side is actually an actual Loa, or a dead side spirit that's attached itself to the earth. Mm-hmm. So that kind of rewrites 20 some years of Shadowman history right there.
I thought when I had seen that, I thought that was a huge, I was like, what? And then I think that was the end, right, of that issue.
Sure, yeah, and that's why we have the Dead Side War, which is the most recent story arc we're in right now with issue number 5.
Yeah,
I think there's going to be a universe-spanning war that involves the entire Valiant universe here. Mm-hmm. So,
I do want to mention real quick. I want to give big props to. I'm sorry, who does the art for this book again?
John Davis Hunt.
John Davis Hunt. I'm guessing like the idea for doing the variant covers that are like horror movies, I think is genius and just such a great look to this whole series and stuff. And I want to commend him a lot for that. I think that was a great idea.
Yeah.
If you ever listen to the band Ghost, I don't know who has on here, but they have most of their album covers are like that. There's one that had one for like Nosferatu and everything, and it sent me back there. And I think I just want to point out how great of a decision that was.
Yeah, I mean that's the crazy thing is that everybody wants those covers.
Yeah,
they did one that was an homage to The Howling, one to Halloween, one to The Thing. And those issues, like I want those. But you can't find them for any, like they're like 4 times the price of the regular issue because everybody's buying them up, So,
and I mean that's what got me into Shadowman. I saw I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know I was in your class, Spillman, and we were all talking and stuff. And I saw the cover of it, and it was from Halloween from 2018. Mm-hmm. And I saw it, and I'm all like, "Oh, that who's this? This guy looks kind of cool. I wonder what this is all about." And I'm a fan now, so I'm in love with it. It's great.
Well, see, I'm looking forward to the variant for issue number 6, I think, because they have a Fright Night cover homage, and that was a fun movie. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Wasn't The Thing was the one for number 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, number 5 was The Thing.
That one's my favorite. That one's my favorite out of all of them. Oh.
Yeah, they did a good job mimicking the look and feel of the movie poster. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I don't know if I can really say this. I don't know if this is a hot take or not.
Uh-oh.
You said get ready for Twitter.
They're all waiting at their keyboards.
I know they're all waiting. In my opinion, and Spillman, you can totally say I'm a moron for saying this. I'm completely wrong. As from what I've seen, this might be my favorite Shadowman design. I don't know. I hear silence. I
will say that
from what I've seen, I might be missing something.
No. I think, hey, you're entitled to your opinion. I think it's a cool design. I like the 2012 relaunch better because he's kind of like got the Shadowman suit thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, he's just like wearing a jeans and a jacket.
Yeah. It's CW Shadowman.
CW Shadowman.
I like the way he looks. I like his new scythe where it like breaks apart and like, all that. But he doesn't actually have like a uniform or a costume, I guess you could say.
Oh, okay. So
that kind of unifies the character, and that's why I like the 2012 relaunch better.
Is it the one where he has like his logo on like the left side of his chest?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I see it. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm into it too. I swear, I'm afraid what to say on here because someone's going to scold me. And, he's not going to come back on here. It looks too much Punisher-ish. I don't know how to explain it. And I mean, it's not a bad outfit though, and nothing wrong with looking similar to Punisher at all. But I don't know. I still like this new version better. But I do see what you're coming from, where it's not really a costume, and I can get behind that completely.
And personally,
tell me about this.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say just something. I think a lot of it is the face. It looks. I know both look very similar, but I mean, it could be just the art style. I'm not too sure, but I feel
one thing that makes this newer Shadowman stand out to the other ones, in my opinion, is because his face does look different. He's got those nose holes, and
yeah,
and I think it kind of adds a more like semi realistic tone to it, because a skull would have the holes right there where your nose would be.
Oh yeah.
And
Sure.
I think that's a really cool design detail that makes the character kind of pop. But can we all agree? And I'm not sure if Landon's seen pictures of it, but the Shadowman design from I think it was the very first issue, way back when, with the blue outfit and the long hair.
Oh gosh,
was not the greatest.
Oh no,
compared to newer stuff.
Yeah,
that was a product of its time. Very,
very
yes,
much.
It was. I guess it was a product of its time, just like Ang Lee's Hulk.
No, shut up.
And Spawn.
Hey.
Yeah, you can't talk.
Don't you bring Spawn into this?
I do feel very weird about the Shadowman design from the game. Honestly,
that too. But I hate that. I like the older one a little bit more than that one, to be honest.
I guess we didn't address that. In the Acclaim era, Michael Leroy literally just ran around shirtless with jeans on.
And a mask in his chest.
Is Mark the Shadowman?
With a mask attached to his chest, not his face.
Oh my gosh. I first saw, because back then when I was about a week ago, or when did the Shadowman game come out? How many weeks? Like a month ago? Or two?
It was remastered the console release was in January, I believe. Yeah.
Console. Okay. So a month ago, when I was stupid, I kept thinking Shadowman kind of just stayed similar, because I was just looking at the cover of the new one now. And I was like, oh, okay, he's kind of like that the whole series. And I went to go buy the Shadowman game, and I saw that. I'm like, what is that outfit? That looks horrible.
This is bootleg Shadowman.
What is this bootleg Shadowman? And come to find out, that's what they thought was a good design choice.
Well, I mean, and people were torn by that too. I mean, the game has a cult following. There are some hardcore, Shadowman fans that love the game and love that character, but hate the comic book version of him that came previously and after. So I guess it's quite an acquired taste.
Yeah. Here, so I'm gonna read. I'm on Goodreads.com, and they have Shadowman Book 1, which is the first 4 issues in one, and they are putting out reviews and stuff. People have rated it out of 5 stars, so I was gonna read a few of them and see if you guys agree. Also, I didn't know this. Cullen Bunn grew up in North Carolina.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, okay.
Yeah, Cullen grew up in rural North Carolina, but now lives in the St. Louis area.
Oh, why did he leave? I would like that.
All right. So what do you guys want to hear? You want to hear a good review, a bad review, or a medium review?
Let's start with the bad.
A medium review.
You want to hear bad?
I want to hear spilling trash talk.
Let's see. Here's someone who rated it 2 stars.
Ooh.
They said, here he comes again, one of Valiant's least likable title characters, and that's saying something. He's a musician hitched to a supernatural entity called a Shadow Loa, which means he can enter the demonic version of the negative zone and police it, here and the places in between for our benefit. This 4-parter is basically 3 issues of him plotting around with the ever-so-annoying Baron Samedi, a character who does nothing for me, mostly because he does nothing. And 1 issue recapping the point of the whole piece. For yes, Cullen Bunn has managed to crowbar a point into proceedings, a message, a moral, a reason for the whole plot to ever exist. And we have to thank all that's holy that he did, because it would be deadly boring if he hadn't. This is a mediocre dark fantasy, to say the least, and to call it horror is a great disservice to that genre. So I'm certainly not prepared to do that. What I will also do, though, is remind you that Andy Diggle's run on Shadowman was pretty much guffed too, so there was very little reason to believe this poison chalice of a title had come up trumps up. Here, it hasn't.
I heard Spillman scoff in the middle of the. You reading that? I think he should start off.
I will say that this run of Shadowman is not my favorite run of Shadowman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it's still good though. I think it's doing some good things. So yeah. I definitely wouldn't rate it a 2 out of 5.
I guarantee this person just does not like Valiant in general.
Yeah,
Because he
he's
said
all right.
first he said one of Valiant's least likable title characters, and that's saying something.
I wonder who is less likable than Shadow.
I know.
Oh, I know the answer. I know the answer.
I don't want to anger
know
people
what I'm gonna
online if
say
we
here
say
as
We,
well.
we will leave that up to the audience.
All right. So he does say also about Baron Samedi, which just kind of made me laugh. I was trying to read it. He said a character who is nothing for me, mostly because he does nothing.
Hmm. He does drive the plot forward pretty.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of the impetus for the entire plot. Getting Jack.
Did this person actually read this comic, or did he like just read a synopsis and then write what he thought about it?
my guy just assumed.
Well, let me see if there's any more bad. Here's another 2-star review.
Ooh.
This is by Tia Schmidt. Let's see what she thought. Really just didn't do much for me. I think the concept is really dope, but I just think it attempted to tackle too much in too short a time. It was overwhelming and a bit confusing. The characters are really sick, though, and I think the whole concept is intriguing. The art style was also a bit overwhelming and all over the place, but it did grow on me over time. I don't think I'll be continuing with further volumes of this, unfortunately, but it was an entertaining read. So not as intense as that last
I'm back and
guy's.
forth. I'm like, how dare you? But then I'm all like,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
she's probably like a really like nice person.
Yeah, well, she started out just like bashing it, and then like, oh, but it was a good read.
Like, wow. She was thinking about it as she was typing, and then
It
she's
just
like,
ain't for me. That's all she said. It just ain't for me. I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, I'm glad she enjoyed it.
Oh.
I'm glad she did not think it was okay. Yeah,
Cass on Goodreads rated a 1-star, said, was so boring, struggled to finish it.
Well, you got to give us more than that. I mean,
I know.
really?
Let me see. I got
So I'm gonna turn it a paper just like that. Wasn't a good read, and that's final. Oh, and I declare
not a good read.
Where's your evidence at?
It just wasn't good.
See, that's the way you guys treated Spawn.
That's how we felt about Spillman.
That's how we felt about it. If you want to look into it, that's your homework. So that's what you got to do.
All right, here.
Yeah.
I'll read some medium reviews now, 3 stars, that kind of
Medium.
stuff. To see what the people that are, I wouldn't necessarily say, I guess impartial, you could say, to the comic. This person said, the story is standard Shadowman. Creatures from the dead side are bleeding through to our world. This is all about the art. John Davis Hunt excels at drawing horror. Just goes back to what you were saying, Spillman. And that trend continues here. His creatures are always inventive and menacing. I could look at his pages for hours. I mean, that doesn't seem like a 3-star review. That seems like it should be like a 4.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, he complimented the comic the entire time and never once slighted it. Like,
yeah.
Why'd you deduct 2 stars?
Oh, this is amazing.
True.
3 stars.
Oh, okay. Here's one by Sheldon Weeb. He said solid, but not spectacular. Horror/superhero series carrying on from the comic originally created by Jim Shooter, Steve Englehart, and Dave Lapham. Lapham. Okay, I can never pronounce names. You can ask Landon. All of our fan base could tell you I can't pronounce names. Back in 1992 and brought back by Valiant Entertainment beginning in 2012. Volume 1 contains the first 4 issues of a new series begun earlier this year. The character has seen at least first issues over the last decade. I enjoy this collection, but not enough to get the next one. Okay, so he really didn't rate. I mean, he rated a 3-star, but he didn't explain why. He said, I liked it, but it was okay.
Oh, all right.
Well,
if you're going to write a review, at least make it like interesting.
Give us some evidence. His review is exactly like he says Shadowman is. See?
Okay. All these people's reviews, like all the 3 stars that aren't like explaining stuff, they write how I felt about like Ang Lee's Hulk, which is
Oh, right. I'm glad you said it's my favorite movie.
Let's get to some 5 stars now. See what other people are saying. That is a very long review. I'm not reading it.
Oh,
let's see. I got to find at least a small one. All these people are writing huge paragraphs. Oh, here's one. All right, this is by Bengali Girl, rated at 5 stars. Said, I haven't read any of the original / older Shadowman books, so I didn't know what to expect. Now, this can connect with both me and Landon. This was our first introduction into Valiant itself, I think, or maybe it was just Shadowman with you, Landon.
Yeah, I want to say this is one of the first ones I let you borrow.
Yeah, this was I remember these are the first ones I borrowed. I don't know about Landon if he had read another one.
Wait, sorry, what are you talking about exactly? The first one I borrowed?
Yeah, well, the first one, Valiant comic that you read. Do you remember?
It was Archer no, it was not Archer. It was what's her name?
Quantum and Woody.
Quantum and Woody.
Oh, that's a good way to start, I guess.
Yeah. I can't think of Archer.
But mine was Shadowman, so I had no idea what to expect going into this. So I may be able to relate to this lady, but here we go. Just by looking at the graphics, I thought it'd be similar to The Punisher, but boy, was I wrong. I should read the descriptions more closely. The premises are really interesting since it's saturated with paranormal history. Plus, the Shadow Man is from New Orleans, the home of spirits and hauntings. I love the details of the illustrations, and all characters are thoughtfully portrayed. I think Baron Samedi is one of my favorite graphic novel characters now. I thoroughly enjoyed reading this volume and will look out for / get the second one. Oh, she said, thank you, at NetGalley, Diamond Book Distributors, and Valiant Entertainment for giving me the opportunity to read this. You have a fan.
Oh, I'm glad that
there we go.
She gave it 5 stars, but how do you look at the cover of this and think
maybe the black and white?
I don't know.
That's a little perplexing.
Shadowman's literally coming out of a portal with a bunch of demons around it.
I was a little surprised. I mean, oh my god, that's funny.
Most of these people, it seems a lot of them are talking about the art and praising it for the way it looks.
And I mean, it's
how it looks like Punisher and all that.
Yeah.
Has anybody praised Cullen Bunn yet?
Let me look. There's a lot of long reviews. Not in that one. Let's see. Nope. No, they praised John Davis Hunt.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Scroll to this one. Nope. Nope. No, they do not.
Oh, well, okay. I tried.
Forgotten. But yeah, that's all the really big reviews that I've seen on here about the issues 1 through 4. So I don't suppose you guys have anything else to say about those 4 issues, do you?
Not really. I mean, go read it.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things we didn't mention though is we have this this armored female that just keeps showing up in all the issues. That's kind of alluded to as a important character, but they're trying to figure out who she is.
Yeah,
and of course that leads into issue number 5. So
yes,
is she the Shadow Woman? I don't know. I don't know what that
Shadow Woman.
The Shadow Woman.
It's interesting you mentioned that because there is a side story for the 4001 AD story arc. Where Japan falls down into Earth, and Rai has to defeat Father and all that. There's a Shadow Man side story. It's just a one shot, and Shadow Man is female. There's a Shadow Woman, I guess. In that year. Whoa. And when Japan fell to Earth, something happened. I can't remember exactly what. I need to go back and read it. But it opened a permanent portal to the dead side, and you have demons from the dead side living in one half of a city and humans living in the other half of the city, and the Shadow Woman kind of keeps the peace between them. Kind of an interesting premise. So
I'd watch a show about that.
I'd watch a show with somebody talking about peace. That's pretty good.
Okay. Not the episode to talk about Peacemaker.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That is funny. Oh my gosh, yeah, I didn't even know about that. So see, that's why we get the great on here. But no, I got nothing else to add on about this book.
All right. I don't. Spillman?
Oh, I mean, that's what I was going to mention was just the female character.
All right.
So
Okay.
That works. So now, before we get into issue 5, maybe we should. Maybe I'll wait to do this until at the end of the episode. So never mind. Let's get into issue number 5. Now, I'm pretty sure I may be allowed to say this now. I mean, I probably was allowed to say it whenever we got the issue. We had got given this issue a week prior to most. By, should I give a specific name or should I just say Valiant Comics?
I mean, yeah, just let's just think Valiant Comics.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to think. We all three think Valiant Comics, and Spillman can thank me for emailing it to him.
Yes, thank you for emailing me the advanced copy.
Yes, so we get the advanced copy of Shadowman number 5. And now, so I had to. This is the first comic I've read like through email, so I had to like scroll through all this stuff and like zoom in with my phone to like read it.
No, never mind. I'm sorry, you complaining about getting a comic? How dare you?
No, I'm not complaining. I was saying it was the first one, like when I've had to.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I'll be honest, having that experience of like, man, I'm a comic distributor sent us this, or like a place of comics sent us this, and it was pretty cool. It was great.
Yeah. So the comic starts off. Now this is the start of the big Dead Side War, and Valiant's playing this up as a really big crossover. Yet, even though it's only the second issue of it is coming, or the 6th issue, if you want to think about it completely, but it's coming next week. And we've yet to see like a big crossover at all. Okay, maybe, I don't know what character could show up. Like, if you could think of any character of Valiant that you want to show up in this Dead Side War, who would you want?
Well, if it's going to be the Dead Side War and it's going to be Valiant universe spanning, I mean, honestly, I love the idea of Shadowman being the central character and then everybody else in the Valiant universe kind of helping him out.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see some Ninjak. He's already teamed up with Ninjak. Let's get Ninjak back in there. Let's get Exo in there. Let's get Quantum and Woody and Archer.
I see that. I would really enjoy what Woody would think of Shadowman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a thing only men can dream of, Mary.
I know who I don't want to show up.
Well, so do I.
Yeah.
We're not going to say their name. You guys can figure it out.
And it would be pretty neat to. Woody's kind of that fourth wall breaking character in the Valiant universe.
Yeah.
So maybe he could make comments about the Shadowman that he knew doesn't look like this one, or maybe he played the game or something, or who knows,
I played your game and you didn't look like that.
What in the world? Yeah,
kind of bootleg Shadowman.
Bootleg Shadowman.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Eternal Warrior show up. That would be pretty awesome.
That would be very cool. Do you think we get do you think we maybe get a mention or possibly see Master Dark?
Well, I mean, he is the big bad,
Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's we don't know yet if he's the big bad of the Dead Side War or not.
Well, sure, we don't know if he's going to be in the Dead Side War or not, but I mean, he's got to be somewhere in here, because I don't think they would do a Dead Side War and not have him contribute in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the comic right now through my email. So we start off in a cemetery where you get this little boy, and he's like doing some kind of ritual to bring his dead mom back, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And his mom does come back, but pretty sure it's not the mom that left him.
Mm-hmm.
From
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. And it's got an army of what look like, I guess, zombies. Have risen up out of graves, and now this little boy is with them. And then immediately jumps to New Orleans where the guy's playing saxophone. Jack, I always say his name wrong, his last name. I always say Boniface sometimes. Is it Boniface?
Boniface.
Boniface. Yeah. Okay. So Jack Boniface. He's playing. Now you meet this girl, Alyssa. And it seems like her and Shadowman, or Jack, have some sort of maybe romantic relationship going on. Or maybe they're friends. I can't really tell.
Well, she's actually, she was introduced in the original, the relaunch, as one of the abettors, which that is a team of people. I should have mentioned that earlier, that are specifically tasked with helping Shadowman do what he needs to do. So you have a group of abettors that are kind of there for support.
So they meet and they talk. He tells them that the dead side, the barrier between our world and the dead side is wearing thin. All the hate and the cruelty and the misery in the world is eating holes through the veil. He said when the dead side spills through, it creates a blight, an open, bleeding wound between worlds. And then she introduces him to the new abettors, Reese, Gemma, Zaya, Elaine, and Lenny.
And Lenny.
Yeah.
Lenny. Yeah, there we go.
These people have some interesting designs. Looking at them now.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason they introduced the new abettors is, pretty much you accept the fact if you are an abettor, you have a pretty good chance to, get killed. So that's what happens in pretty much every run. You're an abettor. Oh, well, by the end of the story arc, you're probably dead.
Well, they're all going to
die. We're all dead.
And the only line we get from, we get 2 lines from these abettors in this comic. One of them, I'm not sure who this man is. He's got round glasses and a fancy mustache. He says, "Help Shadowman against the things that go bump in the night." And this other girl says "rude" later on, and that's the only thing that any kind of dialogue that they have in this. So they really don't focus on them much in this one. They kind of just say like, "Oh, they're here," and then go past it. Let's see. See what happens next. So zombies have overtaken this town, it looks like, and they're taking people out. And Shadowman arrives to take them out. And you have what is like one of my favorite panels in this comic, which is him like jumping in the air with the scythe and above all the zombies, like ready to strike down on them.
Very frightening image. I love it.
Yeah, they got the moon behind him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I will say that while I do like John Davis, he's good at drawing John Davis Hunt's art in relation to like horror related aspects of comics and like blood and gore and all that.
Yeah,
I do like this artist's rendition of Shadowman a little better because he's better at drawing action scenes than I think John Davis Hunt is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out, let's get past this. When he's at the bar, I think this is, talking to Alyssa, he sees Baron Samedi in the background waving at him. And that's about to come up here in a second. All right. So the little boy's mom is no longer looks like a zombie anymore, but she's dead, I think. And boy's upset.
You think?
And Samedi shows back up and Jack tells Samedi, and he says, "I need a little help here." And so, "That's not why I'm here. My job's to show you the blight so you can take care of business. I'm not some genie here to grant wishes. We've both got important matters to tend, but fine. Be a bleeding heart, Jack. It serves you well." And then, like, brings back the mom. And this is like it brings her back just a short amount of time that she dies again. But that seems like it was kind of like a setup story, it seemed, to what the big problem was coming up. And you go into the dead side next. After the little boy says that the person who taught him to raise the dead was a monster. And so now you go into the dead side and you're seeing a bunch of grotesque looking demons and monsters. And I'm not sure who this guy is, but he's addressing a bunch of monsters. He talks about the book of Krieg Zeg Rothru,
Yeah,
which I don't know if I don't know if that shows up any other time in any kind of Shadowman stuff.
I haven't seen it show up. Yeah, I think that's something new with this run.
It's written in bold, so I didn't know if it would be that. And then Shadowman shows up, and this is the scene, a little like part that I heard Spillman that you didn't quite enjoy. He shows up.
Yeah.
He shows up, and the monster's like, Shadowman, the adversary, come to punish us, come to slaughter. And he says, you got me all wrong. I'm not here to kill you. I'm tired of that. I think there's another way. You're trying to drown the world. You're struggling against it. But if the dead side and the living world could live in harmony, and then he's trying to convince them if they could just like stop fighting and be peaceful with each other, then everything would be fine.
Yeah. You know what this reminded me of? We discussed this before. It reminded me of issue number 100 of Spawn. Because, all right, so I'll relate that back to Shadowman. Basically, in issue number 100 of Spawn, Spawn's like, oh, I'm tired of all this. And he just, he spends 100 issues trying to defeat Malbolgia. And then issue number 100, he's like, oh, I'm tired of this, and just goes and kills Malbolgia. I'm like, what? It was that easy the entire time? Yeah. So now we have Shadowman, who has essentially just like teleported to where all the big baddies and Deadside are, and is just able to walk up to them all willy-nilly, like no questions asked. Yeah, that's never happened in Shadowman history. And then my other issue with it is it's so cliche. It is, oh, let's all get along. Shadowman's been fighting demons the entirety of his comic book career. You don't trust demons.
Yeah.
Like Shadowman would not go over there and be like, let's be friends, demons. Come on.
Come on.
He says right here at the end, he says, I might be able to broker peace instead of bloodshed, blessings instead of blights.
Okay. And then, yes, we got some alliteration in there too. I still don't like it. I just thought it was kind of a little too forced and cliche.
And then
come on, man.
I think this is Baron Samedi, but it might be wrong. Comes in and talks about he was chosen to be a warrior, not a peacekeeper, not a priest. Yet he hopes to teach the dead side to live in unison with the mortal realm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was Baron Samedi saying that. He says right here, he was like, he wanted me to guide him to the blights and set him on his way, but he's doing this. This is actually insane. This is basically what he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he's talking to Baron Samedi's talking to what looks like a bunch of other Loas, possibly. And this girl arrives. And she kind of comes in with a presence like kind of take over everything, what it seems. And Baron Samedi, those people are the gods of the Loa. You're not that. She shows up. She says, I know who you are, more precisely who you claim to be, gods. You think quite highly of yourself. And then she like punches Baron Samedi in the face and like puts him in a chokehold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And see, this is where you get the, I guess, two sides of Cullen Bunn. You got the cliche idea, but then he comes in and like wrecks 25 years of Baron Samedi being this real powerful, like, freelance mercenary in the dead side, and this girl just like knocks him off his feet like he's nothing.
Yeah, and I feel like
that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I feel like once you find out who this girl is, then it's like, oh, as you find out right here at the end, all the people tell her to join them, take their place, become a god, and she says, "I don't think you understand. You know that God doesn't offer heaven a seat at the table. God is heaven." And then she like kills all of them except for Baron Samedi, it looks like. She said, you thought you could hide it from me, bury it inside your unrotting flesh. Says Jack can't help you now. The Ring of Solomon is what she wanted.
Yes.
I assume will come into play eventually.
Sure.
But you find out right here at the end that she is the dead side personified.
Mm-hmm.
And which I find pretty interesting. So it's this being that now, even though they said the dead side is like a Loa on the planet. So I don't know how, like, if it, like, I don't know. I need to read issue 6.
Well, I think what's going to happen, it's going to be, you got the dead side as the Loa on the earth. And it's just like you said, this is the dead side personified. It's all the power that the dead side has, fused into kind of this human like body, I guess you could say. I don't know where it's going to go. I mean, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested to read issue number 6.
And issue 6 comes out on the 23rd, so it is not this upcoming Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 23rd. Okay.
And that features the return of Punk Mambo, who, I mean, not me, to me, and I don't think to you either, Spillman. It's not a favorite character, but it seems to be a fan favorite character for a decent amount of people.
Oh, she definitely has a following, and she's a sorceress and able to travel to the dead side with the help of certain medicinal proper items and things like that. And she's got a lot of knowledge of like the dark arts and dark magic and things like that. So in some cases, other characters in the Valiant universe lean on her to help them out in those types of situations where those things happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Punk Mambo, all right. She's all right. I'm not the biggest fan of her, but
I was reading, I was looking at the cover, at least of Shadowman number 6, and John Davis Hunt doesn't look to be drawing this.
What?
It's probably the same guy who did number 5. I think he's handling this story arc. So
okay. All right. Okay. So that makes more sense. Maybe I should have looked at that.
Okay, I was like, what?
But yeah, I kind of walked through that whole issue. All right. So any kind of thoughts before maybe we get to rating this ourselves?
I mean, I don't have anything to say, honestly. Yeah, I mean, you did that whole walkthrough. I'm like, honestly,
I just basically read you the important stuff of the comic.
Yeah, basically. But I don't have anything to say. What about you guys?
I'm ready to rate it.
Yeah, me too. All right. So, how do you want to rate this? You want to rate, because we reviewed all 5 of these. You want to rate them?
Like the whole.
You want to rate them all as a whole, how it's been so far, or do you want to rate 1 through 4 and then rate 5 because it's kind of its own? Like, how do you guys want to do that?
I mean, we could. I mean, as a total package, I guess.
All right.
Right? Does that make the most sense?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So as I think of a rating right now, I'm going to pass this over. Landon, you think you might know?
No.
Instead of before we do the rating, can we do it 1 to 5 skulls instead of stars this time? How about that?
Yeah, we can do that. We normally rate it out of 10, but that works.
10. Oh, okay. All right.
So we can do out of 10 skulls.
There we go.
Out of
what did me and you do, Landon? I think it was when we reviewed Peacemaker last week. We made a kind of joke.
Out of doves a piece.
Yeah. We were 4 out of 5 doves a piece. Or 9 out of 10 doves a piece.
I feel like we did one as well for Hulk. We did something out of Hulk dog.
Yeah.
I want to say we did, but
I'm no longer able to make the Hulk dog's noise because I don't have my effects box on this microphone.
I know. Sounds like you should.
Sad. I could go get it, but I don't feel like it.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. You're not gonna leave in the middle of it.
I could. Anyway, let's get to this rating. If I think I got my rating. If I could rate all issues 1 through 5 of the Cullen Bunn Shadowman
out of skulls,
I would have to give it. I think 7.5 out of 10 skulls.
Okay.
Because it's not perfect, but it's not bad either. And so it's pretty good. So, but I don't think it hits 8 quite right, in my opinion.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Spillman, do you want to go next since you're our guest?
Oh, well, sure. Yeah, I can go. So out of 10 skulls, I would give it probably a 7.
Right.
I tend to agree with Darien. It's an interesting comic to read. They're doing some interesting things with the Shadowman universe.
Yeah.
The art's good, but the writing, in my opinion, it kind of varies.
Yeah.
Like the scene that we talked about with issue number 5.
Mm-hmm.
That would not happen I just don't feel like Shadowman would do that.
Blessings, not
So,
blessings.
yeah. However, I do think that it's pretty interesting how they're casting the dead side as an actual Loa. We got the Loa personified there. But it while those things are awesome, it is not, in my opinion, the best run of Shadowman. It's good, but comparing it to other runs, I think it is lacking in some departments. So, yeah, I'll go with a 7 out of 10 skulls there.
All right. So 7 and a 7.5. Landon?
A lot of writing on me, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
He would be like, none.
I'll be honest with you.
He's going to be like, 3.
3. I don't know, because yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to go with a 7 as well. I was leaning towards the 7.5 like you, Darien.
I always end up one-upping somebody on this podcast.
It's funny. It's funny how it works. Well,
all of our reviews, I'm always like 0.5 higher than Landon.
I was going to go straight with you saying the 0.5, but I'm going to take because Spillman's word with the Shadowman part, because I'm going to take the word of the guy who knows the character more than me.
Yeah.
So by him saying like, yes, that's just something Shadowman wouldn't do, and I hate when characters are just not, treated the same way as they would,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what I'm saying. But like, it's just something they just want to do. Then I think that's a big issue to have.
Yeah.
But I think everything else is pretty good. The art is fantastic. I like some of the writing in it. Which issue was it? I'm sorry. Try to find it real quick as I'm looking through the book. Well, I can't find it, but there's a lot of things going on, and it does leave me the question. Like where is this going to?
Yeah, like what's next for the Dead Side War?
Yes.
Hopefully, it's all three of us' least favorite character getting absolutely destroyed by a demon in the following issues.
Yes,
well, as much as we can hope for that, that will never happen.
Well,
it won't happen.
Why not?
But I do have a request. I would like Valiant to make a Lego game. Real quick,
don't forget the Lego game. Make a fighting game.
Dude,
Landon, when you suggested a Valiant fighting game,
I wanted one.
Hands down, that would be awesome. I'd never thought of that. That is what I want now.
They could do it. I don't know why. I'm begging them.
And then, but don't let NetherRealm Studios do it, because then they'll start putting like
then we get a good story mode too.
Well, then they'll put Mortal Kombat characters in it, and it'll.
Oh gosh, yeah. I don't want. As the coolest. I don't know.
Scorpion versus Shadowman.
Come on, Darren. You tell me you don't want that.
Well, what if they put Injustice characters in it? They're like, oh, we can put them in there too.
Well, Batman versus Shadowman? Huh?
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I think I want a Valiant game where the DLC characters are Valiant characters.
Amen.
You imagine a tag team mechanic with Archer and Armstrong and Quantum and Woody and
God. Oh, like some MVC2 stuff or just Marvel vs. Capcom type of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, please. Hashtag free MVC2 real quick. I have to.
Yeah, there we go.
Please. Oh my God. I want it.
That would be great. But yeah, that's I guess our talk of the current Shadowman Cullen Bunn run.
Mm-hmm. I'd say check it out. honestly.
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
Even though all three of us rated it a 7, I
rated it a 7.5. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My bad. I still recommend it. Y'all could say it's trash, I guess, if y'all wanted to. Saying my opinion doesn't matter.
Well, when you think about it, 7 is a decent score. It's not, it's not a 1.
Yeah, it's not a 3. We just say it's good. What was that person? He's like, oh, it's amazing. Yeah, it's 3.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Well, when you think about it, I think a 7 is like, all right, this was enjoyable. There were some issues there, but I still like it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if that's all you guys got to say about it, then I guess maybe we'll get ready to end this thing off here.
Yeah. You got anything else to do?
Yeah. Got any closing words, Spillman, before we?
Go out and buy Shadowman number 6 on February 23rd because we're going to find out. I think we're going to get some more answers from that.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, support my boy Shadowman because he's one of my favorite characters.
Yes.
There we go. I was gonna say something, but I'm not. I'm not gonna say. I was gonna say something about Valiant, but something I do not want. But I forgot. We already went on a full rant about that.
You went on a full rant.
You went on your rant about Josh. So,
well, that's Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon is like a rant about him trumps any kind of NFT rant.
Yeah, but it could be bad in the future. Josh Whedon has been put down for now, at least.
Yeah,
for now.
So you have you have him returned. It's going to be the return of Joss Whedon.
The return of
Return of the Jedi, except it's return of Joss.
We need return of the Josh Whedons. Ooh, okay. That I want to see a Snyder cut of that.
And no, thank you. All right. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. So I'm getting ready to end this off. Thank you all so much for joining us today, and thank you, Spillman, for joining us for yet another episode. You're always welcome back here in the Comic Book Burrito.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it. I will come back anytime to talk comics, Valiant, video games, whatever.
It'd be great to get you on for one of the normal episodes. Sometimes having you restricted to extra beef.
Please yell at us if we get misinformation.
Anytime. I will come back anytime.
But yeah, thank you all so much for listening. If you have any questions, comments, corrections, or concerns, you can contact me on Instagram at DarienH4404. That's DARIENH4404, or on Facebook at the Comic Book Burrito _official page. Very interactive over there. Spillman can attest to that.
Yes,
very true.
We like to talk to people. And you can also hit us up on Twitter at the CB Burrito. So CB Burrito, capital C, capital B, and Burrito. Lynn?
You can also contact me at Spider_Landon on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I am very angry on Twitter, so come join me.
Very true.
Come join me. I have a lot of hot takes. Should be fun. But we do have a official Instagram account at the Comic Book Burrito. That's more for notification purposes. Me and Darien, again, we both recommend Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, and Patreon is on its way. Hopefully, it's been on its way for about a couple months now. It's just difficult. We have when you're seeing this on Wednesday the 16th, we will have had 2 episodes dropping the previous weekend of the normal podcast. So 2 weeks worth of episodes in 1 week.
Yes.
So definitely go check those out. And yeah, I guess we'll get ready to head out of here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So blessings, not blights, everybody. Bye, guys.
See ya.